Just got back from a workout class, clearly. I'm looking sweaty and kind of disheveled. Today we're going to talk about building a sustainable fitness routine. That kind of means a little bit of everything. So working out, sleep, nutrition, etc. And just my experience with it and what I think you could benefit from learning from what I have learned over my years of just dedication to trying to be fit. Am I right? Just never ending, but then if you find the joy in it, it doesn't matter that it's never ending. Anyway, I kind of smell, so let's go and shower and get ready to chat. Let's talk about it. Why you're watching this video. You're probably either trying to improve or create a sustainable fitness regimen. What I mean by that, see, there's a variety of factors that lead us to seek information, sources, inspiration, motivation, etc. from other people. This includes, but is not limited to, feeling burnt out, wanting different kinds of workouts or different kinds of healthy lifestyle hacks, wanting to surround yourself with people that exhibit values and routines that you eventually want to have yourself, and the list goes on and on. Myself, I used to seek out these videos when I was burnt out, lacking motivation to go to the gym, or I just wanted to consume this kind of content for entertainment when I was on the treadmill, elliptical, whatever it may be, because I thought, you know what, seeing this during my workout really pumps me up. So now that we've showered, gotten ready, we can have ourselves a proper chat. First, I'm gonna eat some food though. But I went over on my Instagram and I asked you guys a few questions about what do you want me to answer in terms of building a sustainable workout regimen, fitness routine, eating healthy for your whole life rather than just 3 months when you decide to just crack down. And hearing your responses got me thinking. First of all, I'm going to preface everything I'm about to say with I am not a licensed professional. I'm not a certified personal trainer. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a physical therapist. I'm just a regular old gal who's been working out for probably 10 plus years sustainably and every single week unless I was down for the count recovering from surgery, an injury, whatever it may be. And it's never looked the same year over year. There are maybe slight similarities, but for the most part, pretty different. One very important thing before we begin. Actually, two. Number one, this is made for you to adapt to you. What I mean by that is I don't want you to take everything I'm about to say and try to be more like me, or more like Betty Boo Bop on Instagram that you follow, or more like that person on TikTok that you think is just amazing, you want to be just like them. The point of me making this video is I want you to take aspects, inspiration, mindsets, maybe some workouts that I do, take them, try them, and mold them to be your own. Every single person's body is so different. I know that's kind of overheard, but it really is so true. For example, I have a friend that can do bar class pretty much every day of the week except for Saturday and Sunday, and her body reacts great to it. I tried doing that and I had to go to physical therapy because my hips were screaming at me, and it turns out that I was overworking my muscles so much that the nerves were starting to get irritated. Two very similar workout regimens, two very different people. So keep that in mind. Number two, you're watching a video and for the most part, you're trusting in me. Why you're doing that? Well, I have to kind of tell you a little bit about me so you can establish what I am and how I can give you this kind of advice. Also, this is a two-part series. Part 1, which you're watching right now, is just giving you an overview of some tips for getting into a healthier lifestyle and fitness routine. Part 2 is going to walk you through a few days with me of what it looks like in my life to personally strive to live a healthier lifestyle every day. Definitely subscribe to the channel so you can watch part 2 when it comes out, and you can also see some other content that I'm making on the norm. So, this was me. I started my fitness journey by running cross country in high school. I did some light weightlifting at LA Fitness on Saturdays just to supplement my workouts during the week. And you know what? I thought it was fun to go because it was kind of social in high school. Fast forward to college. I went to Florida State and I partied my face off. I also joined the FSU CrossFit Club, interestingly enough, and I had a really awesome community of active people that had good grades, that went to class, that tried hard in school, that had all these things lining up for them. But I also had the group that was partying and drinking to excess and always trying to go out, and I had basically the devil and the angel on my shoulder at all times. So what did I do? Naturally, I tried to juggle both of them. Horrible mistake. And what I learned is that in trying to do CrossFit and trying to also go out and have an unhealthy lifestyle while I was not in the gym, the two did not match up. And I quickly learned that everything that I do outside of the gym directly impacts everything that I'm doing in the gym. It impacts my mile time. It impacts how quickly I can complete this workout. It impacts how I feel during and after the workout, and not to mention before if I was hungover. And it was just not a good time. I just didn't have a concept of how to bridge the gap between the two and live a lifestyle that was truly well-rounded and healthy. So naturally, when I exited college and I went to live in Nashville, I short-circuited. And it was a really crazy time for me. I gained a lot of weight. I did not understand how I was still kind of eating healthy, but I was living a more sedentary lifestyle. I wasn't working out like before. And overall, I just kind of lost myself to the sauce. Luckily, while I was living in Nashville and during that time, I also became friends and established a really strong group of people that taught me what it's like to live a more balanced and well-rounded lifestyle. So that leads me into now. This is where I am now. I love working out. I love the lifestyle that I have outside of working out. It took me a lot of work to get to this point, to where I truly feel good when I wake up, good before workouts, during workouts, after workouts. And honestly, my goal is just to feel the best I can feel, and I'm doing it with a long-term approach. What I am establishing now and the habits I am rooting into myself now are going to truly impact the kind of person that I can be in my 50s, in my 60s, in my 70s. I really want to be living well into my later adult years and still feeling like I can move my body, trust my body, and feel good. So, number 1, starting or restarting is extremely difficult, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise. For some of you, you might just be starting. For some of you, you might be wanting to make a change, and that's where I was. It's hard not only to get up and go and do this thing, but to change the habits that you have instilled into yourself for so long. So, in saying that, it's not to freak you out or make you run away. It's to tell you to have a little bit of grace with yourself, because it's difficult for everyone that changes or wants to start. In starting, what are some things that could keep you going? That was a common question that I got, is how do you keep going? How are you consistent? And how I am consistent is the reason I work out and I have a healthy lifestyle and eat food that is good for me is not rooted in what I look like. Here's the key. It is not rooted in what I look like. It is rooted in how I want to function and how I want to feel, not only today and tomorrow, but years down the line. Remind yourself of that what you're doing now is going to affect who you are later. So the point of me saying this is, It takes months to form a habit. It takes months after that to see the rewards being reaped. And my encouragement to you is keep going. Even if keeping going is 3 steps one day, a half a step the next day, a baby step the next day. And that's kind of an analogy for sometimes when I am kind of struggling to get back into working out after taking some time off, I'll go to a workout class, I'll feel great, I feel like I can do this forever, and then I wake up the next morning and I don't feel the same way. What do you do then? You get up and you do something that is still moving you towards that goal. So sometimes if I feel that way the next day, I'll get up and just go for a long walk and be kind to my body and say, I'm gonna go on a long walk, I'm gonna get some movement in, because your body is made to move. The human body is made to move. It is just apparent in all the evidence that there is, like when you release a crazy amount of endorphins and dopamine, etc., all those chemicals in your brain when you work out. That's why people have runner's high, and you hear of that. It's because it's literally a high that is happening in your brain. All that to say, some days it looks like a little, some days it looks like a lot. And eventually, if you just keep going, you will become a person that has healthy habits, that works out, that is fit. If you look at your life in a day, that doesn't define who you are. If you look at your life over a span of years or even 6 months, that kind of defines who you are. So if you work out today and tomorrow with a walk, and the next day maybe you go to the gym, and the next day you go for a walk, and maybe the following day you just stretch at home and do some movement in the house, if you look back and you keep doing that kind of routine over a long span of time, you're a person that works out a lot. It might not look like you're going to the gym and going crazy every single day, but for the most part, you're getting up, you're moving your body, and when you look back, you're gonna have an established routine that is just flexible with your needs and your mental state that day. So that was number 1. Getting started is hard, so have a little bit of grace with yourself and also continue moving in the right direction. Even if you don't travel the same distance every day, every step you take towards establishing this healthy lifestyle will help you in the long run. Number 2, this one is super important. Life happens. Let me say it louder for the people in the back. Life happens. You get injured. You get into an automobile accident. You have a kid. You get divorced. You get married. You are in a relationship. You're out of a relationship. You move states. You move cities. You have new friends. Something happens in your family and you need to go devote a lot of time to them. You're traveling a lot. You're not traveling a lot. Just life changes so much, and your workout routines are going to change along with them if you want them to. So a great example of that, when I used to work 9 to 5, I realized that working out in the mornings will actually give me a lot more time after work to hang out with Luke, to do stuff that I want to do, to run some errands, to hang out with friends, to do some hobbies that I've been wanting to do. It just opened up my schedule. So for me personally, that is a great example of life happens. My circumstances changed, so I changed my workout routine to fit those circumstances. And let me tell you, some people say it takes 6 weeks for a habit to form, and waking up early is going to be so easy to work out, and it was not. It still is not. It's still so hard to wake up sometimes in the morning at 5:30 when it's cold outside and you have a 6 a.m. workout class and it's dark and you don't want to go. But the point is, when you roll out of bed, brush your teeth, put your workout clothes on, and head out, you feel so much better once you're there, and you just get it over with. And this is not me just trying to turn you to the morning side. This is just an example of my life changed, so I had to kind of sacrifice and go through the turmoil of becoming a morning person, and an early morning person at that, to be able to work out before I went to work. The second one is life happens, and you're going to have to learn to adapt with your life. So a question I got was, how do you work out when you're traveling a lot for work? You do what you can. You go to the hotel gym, you go on a long run in the neighborhood if you feel safe. You go on a walk on the treadmill in the hotel gym. You do a Sydney Cummings no dumbbell, no equipment workout in your hotel room. There are so many options, but this goes back to point 1. It's hard to start. So have a little bit of grace with yourself, and realize you can start small and build up and get a routine going as you travel. Also, not only working out, but when you're traveling, I am very, very, very prone to this, is I'm prone to just balling out when I'm traveling and just being like, yeah, I'm traveling. It doesn't matter what I eat. But then when I'm traveling like every week, what I eat really matters. So as you're traveling or as your life changes or whatever it may be, yes, your workout routines are still really important, but how you fuel your body, how you recover, how you rest and sleep at night, those all play huge factors in how you feel and how you're going to continue living a healthy lifestyle, maybe even more than working out. That is what I want you to take away from this, is you can work out every single day, but be extremely stressed out because you're not getting enough sleep and you don't know how to deal with the stress at work, and you also are just eating like crap. There's like these 4 parts that, in my mind, okay? I don't know if this is what a doctor would say, but there's 4 main parts. There is working out, there is recovery from working out, so how you recover your muscles and such. There is what you eat, and then there's your sleep. If you're doing one of those, working out, there's still 3 others. When I keep saying holistic, healthy lifestyle, I mean looking at these 4 aspects: how you work out, how you eat, how you recover from your workouts, and your sleep. And all of them are super connected to one another. So you just have to be mindful that if you're frustrated because you keep working out so hard, but you're neglecting every other aspect, maybe expand the horizon of what you're looking at and changing, and also incorporate those other aspects that are equally as important, if not more. Number 3, be adventurous. What do I mean by this? Sometimes we get stuck in a rut. If we just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, you sometimes just get bored. So you have to adventure outside of your comfort zone. An example of this is, I used to be an open gym girly. I would just go to the weight area, I would do my workout, I would maybe do 10 minutes of cardio afterwards, and then I would zoom out of there. I was not feeling very motivated with my workouts. I would find it increasingly hard to go to the gym. I was super sluggish, I didn't want to do it, and I just wasn't feeling that kind of pep in my step that I had when I first started doing that kind of workout routine. And this really took place when Luke and I got married, and I was working out at our home gym every single morning before the sun came up. It was freezing, it was like a dungeon, and I just couldn't do it anymore. So I didn't do it anymore. I had the ability to go and join a gym, and probably once a week I'll work out here at home, but for the most part, I started going to these workout classes, and it really changed my whole mindset. And yes, it was scary when I was doing a move and I looked around, I was like, I am doing that move very incorrectly. But I would just ask the teacher to help me, or I would just ask the person next to me, or I would look at the person next to me and try to mimic their movements. Like, putting yourself out there does not mean you're not gonna not be scared. I was terrified. I didn't know what I was doing half the time. And let me just tell you, when I was going to yoga classes, I am not a yogi. My body doesn't bend like that. But for the most part, I was trying, and I tried new things, and I now have a routine that I really, really enjoy. So let me give you a 3,000-foot view of what I'm talking about, especially when it comes to being adventurous. 3 years ago, I was working out at this pro gym called The Forum in Atlanta, and I would go to the weight area, I would do some weights, very simple movements. I mean, just like bicep curls, tricep extensions, squats, whatever, like super basic. And then I would do 10 minutes of cardio afterwards, maybe. Now, what do I do now? Mondays, I have a bar class. Mondays, I go to bar class at the gym. Tuesdays, I've actually had to stop going to classes because, like I told you earlier, my physical therapist was like, you're working out way too much of the same muscle group too many days in a row and your body is angry with you. So Tuesdays, I now either swim, which is new to me, and I'm nervous to swim in front of other people because I haven't really swam since I was like a 7-year-old on the YMCA Sea Dragons. So this is kind of new to me, and I know that sometimes when you're doing the backstroke, you hit the wall and you just have to laugh it off. But Tuesdays I swim, or I'll do some kind of cardio that is easy on my body. So elliptical, and then I'll stretch a little bit. That's my Tuesdays now. It's not as intense as it used to be. I used to go to a HIIT class that was like, and up and down and 2 and 3. And now it's not. Now it's more chill because I don't want my body to be angry with me. Wednesdays, I go back to bar class because I love bar class. Thursdays, I do tennis. So I just started playing tennis. And Fridays, I will go on a nice long walk. So this looks completely different, doesn't it? From what I told you I was doing 3 years ago. Extremely regimented, did not really change much, but now I'm more fluid. And sometimes I miss workout classes. Like sometimes if I miss my Wednesday workout class, I'll just go on a long walk or I'll do some bike in the downstairs gym. It's all up to what I can do. And the whole thing that I try to do is move. I just try to move my body, no matter what that looks like. And if I'm too busy that day and I have just too much work piling up, I go and I grocery shop or try to knock some errands out at the same time and get out there and get moving. So that's what I mean. In summation, 1, getting started or getting restarted is hard. Have some grace with yourself and also realize that every day that you continue moving, whether it's you're taking 3 steps ahead or you're just advancing a half a step, the main point is you're doing something to work towards the person that you want to become. Anything. Eating cleaner, or going to a workout, or doing both of those things, or hitting 8 hours of sleep. Do something that moves you to being that kind of person that you want to be. And side note, it also can really impact you if you surround yourself with people with like-minded values and like-minded routines that you can use to encourage yourself. So that really changed for me when I started looking at who I was around a lot. A little side note. 2, life happens. When it happens, don't panic because you can't go to the same class that you've been going to for years, the same days at the same time. It's okay. Take a step back and look at what you can do. Look at what you can control. If your job has started making you travel a lot and you can't really control that, well, what can you control in that circumstance? Take a step back and think about, well, I can't control this. These are the times I have available after I go to that client's office and work for the day. What can I do in those times? And be gracious with yourself because it's gonna take some trial and error, and that's okay. 3, be adventurous. If you're that person that's traveling a lot for work, maybe drop in on a workout class. Your job might even cover it if you maybe ask. I don't know, it could. But what I'm saying is be adventurous. If you're in a state where you're like, I need something different, I need some zhuzh in my step, go ahead and adventure outside of your comfort zone. So be measured in how you're adventurous as well. That helps me a lot. So sometimes when I hear be adventurous, I'm like, what does that mean? Do you want me to go climb a mountain? No. Maybe for you, I don't know. But for me, it was just, okay, that Tuesday, I'm gonna go to a new workout class. And I'm gonna take baby steps towards adventuring into this new realm that I've never done before. I did not know I was gonna be a bar girly, but now I'm in there with my little 2-pound weights, 3-pound weights, just barring it out. And I have the best time of my life. So, this is all to say, I hope that you took something away from this video. I really enjoyed making it for you. This is part 1 of 2 parts. So the next part, I'm going to take you through a full few days with me where we kind of walk through what my lifestyle looks like and what it looks like to continually strive to live a healthy lifestyle. So if you like this kind of content, please be sure to subscribe to my channel. It was a joy having you here. My name is Veronica Burton, and I am a 26-year-old that lives in the Atlanta area, and I love making lifestyle content like this for you. And I also love reselling fine used furniture. So that's what I do on my time that I'm not doing YouTube. So I'm happy you're here, and I will see you in part 2. Bye, friends.
Damn, you just like sucked my fingers.